Real intimacy is when you drop into the moment.
Can you really have sex with someone forever?
Every job I'd done, I was so grateful. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I can work, I can earn money.
But if you're in a relationship, if girls like guys' pictures and guys like girls' pictures, do you think it's a big deal or do you think it's not that deep? Why is connection so hard for people to establish these days, Marina? What is it that's distracting everyone?
I think it's that hustle, grind, chase mentality, this illusion that we've got somewhere to go. I've had the 5-bedroom house, the Range Rover, the holidays in the Maldives. It's fucking bullshit.
See, one of the biggest things that people don't do is think. You have to take ownership of your life. Welcome back to my channel where we discuss property, business, lifestyle and well-being. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, then please hit the like and subscribe button. So on today's episode, I have Marina Lazaris, who is a relationship coach. She's also an actor, producer, author, a podcast host, and also the founder of the Marina Method. She also has a book out called Love the Fuck Out of Everything, and I can't wait to speak with her today. Yeah, cool. We'll get right into it then, Marina. Thank you for joining me, Please introduce yourself to my audience in 2 minutes, but I want you to answer this in 2 parts. What is it you do to help others? And the second part of the question is, like, what is it you're becoming?
Wow. That's powerful. Okay, so
Is
I
it?
connect. It is.
That's how we roll.
That is how we roll. Well, I connect people back to their hearts, especially men. So I think, there's not a lot on the heart and brain coherence. And when that's in sync, you are unstoppable. And I am also becoming unstoppable. There you go. That's not cheesy, is it? Yeah.
Okay,
Look,
so
listen, I think we are all love. And the soul's journey is to come back to that. So I am becoming that more and more every day.
Okay, Marina, so tell me, I read your book called Love the Fuck Out of Everything, right? What inspired you to write this book? Tell me.
It was coming up to my birthday on Valentine's Day, and I was turning 40. And I was thinking to myself, what do I want? And I was thinking, there's nothing in the world that I want. All I want to do is make sure that all of my knowledge and everything is out in the world. That's the only gift I want. And so I started working with a copywriter, and she was looking at my podcasts and my message and what I was doing. And I was looking at who was coming to me predominantly, and it was men. And I was providing such a safe place for men. They were telling me all sorts, especially around love and relationships. And I started to get a bit frustrated because there wasn't enough information out there for men. And the messaging that was out there for me wasn't resonating. And I could see their frustration. I could see how they were stuck. And I was like, it's time for me to step up and be a powerful voice for these men and to free them from so much pain and suffering in such a simple way.
What did you experience for you to come up with that the men were suffering? How were they coming to you? Was there a service that you was offering?
Yeah, so I do coaching. So I've done corporate coaching. I've worked with entrepreneurs. I've worked with all different individuals. Yeah. And through that, I was doing like one-on-one coaching, and it would go back to relationships, like issues with divorce, issues with like relationships, emotional intelligence, whatever it was all coming back to love. Now, I was born on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
So I resonated with looking for love outside of myself. And I resonated with this journey of conflict within. I mean, ultimately, you are the person you're searching for. You are love. And I wanted to give men like a simple answer, like questions and answers. So it was almost like a flick book, like a guide where they could turn around and go, look, this is the question that I'm confused on. This is the simple answer. And not like I have all of the answers, because I don't, but I wanted to give my perspective. I've studied coaching, I've studied hypnosis, I've studied psychology. I wanted to give my perspective from that angle, but actually from my own personal experience of dating, being married, being divorced, to empower men so that they don't feel lost, they don't feel confused.
Yeah.
They feel more
Okay.
connected
Yeah.
to
Okay.
themselves.
So, nice. So what was your upbringing like? Tell me.
My upbringing was
Like from teens.
from teens.
Yeah.
It was a big struggle. Both my parents were unemployed, they didn't work. My dad nearly died. He had a pituitary gland tumour and he lost his
Your dad
business.
really what?
He nearly died.
Really?
Yeah, so I was about 9. I was a bit younger, and my dad was like my hero, but he worked hard. He worked 7 days a week. He had a painting decorating company, he had 20 men working for him. What an amazing man. But my mum supported that, right? She done the admin, she helped him with the business. And because he didn't process his trauma, all his illness was all manifested via trauma, right? Unprocessed, a lot of anger actually. And it came out, and the only person that hurt was him. And so he got given 24 hours to live. He lived, he's still alive, but he suffers with his health. So I saw two ill. My dad was very ill and very depressed. He couldn't work again. He couldn't rise again. My mum depended on my dad. So she didn't believe women should work. She couldn't even drive during that stage. So I saw two parents depressed, unfulfilled, and we had no money, right? So it was an interesting time, to say the least. But what got me through that was visualization. I'd go to bed and I'd dream of a different life. I'd dream every night before I went to bed. I'd dream of, I don't know, probably the kind of life I've had, right? But I dreamed of something else, something better. And from a young age, I worked. I was working when I was 15. And by 16, 17, I was top regional salesperson at Direct Line Insurance. So I used to go and do my A-levels at school. I was like 17, or I was still doing my A-levels. I'd go to work like 3 evenings a week and a Saturday. But I was also training teams. So I was training everyone how to sell. And it was telesales at the time.
Yeah.
I was so grateful because I came from nothing. I was so grateful for the opportunity to work. Like I worked in a printer's, I worked in a clothes shop. Every job I'd done, I was so grateful. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like I can work, I can earn money. I've got my own money. I've got my own, that feeling. But I was just, the gratitude and visualization changed my course of my life. I always, and this is where I wanted to help others, right? In what I do. It's who I've always been. It's not something I went, oh, I'm going to be a coach, or that's why I was like, it's a sin for my work not to be accessible for everyone, because I didn't have anyone kind of helping and guiding me. So, and it's simple. I've done it all. I've spent, I know, 30,000 on coaching. Like I've done it all. It's not complicated. I've probably spent so much on it all, and it doesn't need to be complicated. It's simple.
I like that. Okay, so you say people need to be educated when it comes to making love. In your book, you describe this as making love versus getting fucked. Can you describe the difference in your own words? Pay attention. I've got some exciting news for you guys. I've launched a 7-day total free audio course for you guys, which is going to help you improve and elevate your mindset, and it's also going to help you in your business. All you have to do is go and sign up every single day, day 1 to day 7. You will receive a free 2-minute audio from me in my own words, in my voice, and what that will do is help you in your business and your mindset. Make sure you go and sign up and let me know how you find it.
I love that. So this is the whole thing, right? I bring sex in because it's not separate from what you do, and there is no shame in it. And the reason why I do this is to add some humor as well. Not because I'm an expert in it. Well, perhaps like, in my own way. But yes, I think when you're in that fucking mode, you're extremely disconnected. So you're not really connected to yourself. And because you're not connected to yourself, you're not really connected to someone else. So you're almost fucking yourself over and whoever you come in contact with. So that's very much just like, I want to get in, I want to get out, I want to get this done, I want the climax, I want the end. Boom, 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 boom. Wham, bam, thank you, Matt. And it's kind of the way lots of people live their life. It's just like, yeah, I need to get to this goal and the next goal, and then they get that goal, and then they get the next goal, and they get the next goal. And they're in this hustle and grind mentality. And you can feel the energy of somebody that's in that, right? It's kind of like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, yeah. But when you make love, it's very different because there's the element of it's felt, right? So you get into their ego. I would describe it as ego, and you can feel it when you're making love to someone because there's an element of you could be the best lover. You could be the best, when it comes to stuff. But if you're just concentrating on the end goal and the performance, you're so into self. You're so into you. Like, I want to be the best lover. I want to make this happen to you. And you could be that. You could do that. But then you come and then what? What? Then you come again, then what? So then it's just a bit like, like, where are we going with this? And you feel that disconnect. Real intimacy is when you drop into the moment, is when you enjoy the moment. You can't predict it. How can you predict what's going to happen next? If you're predicting in the moment when you're making love, and, I've seen men read books on this, and I'm like, no, oh my God. I was like, honestly, like because it's like, you can't, because everyone's different. And if you really let go of that focus on yourself and put it totally on someone else, like when you coach and you see, who is this human being in front of me? Like, what do they like? And you can feel into energy without even speaking and just enjoy. If you go into your senses and enjoy, like, being present and enjoy every smell, every taste, every lick, like if you actually go and enjoy that and work off the other person, you're making love. And that's in all areas of your life. Like, I could sit here, I could plan this podcast, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's not the way I live.
Yeah.
That's not authenticity. Then I'm forcing my agenda. Then I'm being pushy. I'm turn up. Who is this human being in front of me? I will judge, not even judge, because who am I to fucking judge? I'm no one. But I will pick up on the energy, and we will dance and we will co-create, and it will be something beautiful. And that's making love.
Yeah.
Different. If I came in right now and I was like, this is my agenda, this is what I want to get out of it, woohoo, you're going to be like, oh my God, like, this is such a shit podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so see something like that, like it requires a lot more time, a lot more, like, get more into the zone, right? So like for something like that, it could take, you have to basically have spent hours together to create something special like that. Would you say?
Yeah, I would say that would you have to spend hours together? Yeah, I think you need time, and
You do, don't you?
I think you do. Yeah, it's almost like you need to connect to someone, like, on a mental level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level. It can't be done in 5 minutes. You're not
It can't
talking
be
about,
rushed, can it?
no, you can't. And again, if you put a time limit on something,
Yeah.
you're kind of missing out on enjoying it, really, aren't
Yeah.
you? We shouldn't
So
be
you
at
kind of
home
just have to
making
put the
love.
phone down. Yeah, yeah. Just have to kind of put the phone down, people, and just be like, it's time to just connect, really, isn't it?
I think if we'd done that more in life in general and had more sex, the world would be a
Yeah.
better place, you know?
So why do you think people don't do that then? Not many people do that, do they?
No, but people don't know the beauty of it and they don't know the magic of it. And I
Yeah.
think we're in a society where there's so much pushed on everyone, you know. There is that we're in that fight or flight mode, so many of us,
Mm.
so much of the time. Like, we're getting somewhere, we have to be somewhere, we have to be seen to have the perfect holiday, the perfect house. Like, as I'm saying it, it's like, oh, I'm feeling stressed. And it's like the media and the agenda and the news, and like none of it matters. Like, if you just look at someone and stare in their eyes for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and listen to the birds, like, you've got a lot of beauty right there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's, to be honest, that is your core message that you're putting out there, isn't it, Marina, really? And you know, when you actually do speak to men and you do speak to these business owners and these people in the corporate world, like, it's no doubt that what you're saying is facts. What is the response that you get from them? How do they respond?
In what I do, if I ever coach someone, I wouldn't really speak and tell, because if I spoke and
Mm,
tell, I wouldn't be a very good coach.
okay.
There's an element of it's a process.
Mm,
So if you're not feeling it, sometimes there's a block and you can't speak. You need to you need to go where the blocks are, right? And
mm,
you can only go there if it's present. So a man might come and, you know, we might be doing a bit about he might be angry, and it's not making that anger wrong, and like going, what's the anger saying, and he might be punching, or and then they start crying. So it's like allowing someone space to process and to go deeper within themselves. And
mm,
it's not about the story. So many people think it's about a story, and they're talking about something. It's like, oh, that's coffee shop talk. Like, if they have never talked about it before, then that deserves space. But really, you don't
mm,
have to speak about it. It can be a metaphor. Like, a guy will say, like, I'm banging my head against a brick wall. And it's like, okay, right. Okay, let's stick with that. Okay, what does that feel like? And we'll go into the
mm,
metaphor, or we'll go into the embodiment in the body. And so it's not me telling, it's more of like, okay, or visualizing, or all these things to help shift something. Um, and sometimes you can get, that's why I've done the book, to give my perspective.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
but when you're with someone, it's about listening deeply to them.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So talking about your book, when is your book out officially? Has it got a date yet, or like, is it going to be available in a hard copy first, or ebook, or how is it going to be available?
It definitely will be available in an ebook,
Yeah.
ASAP, and then hard copy to follow.
Eventually. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely, because
Because I would have thought that'd be easier, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry, my love.
I would have thought that'd be easier to just to get it out in ebook first, isn't it?
Yeah, ebook first, but then the whole idea of the book as well is that, I have put pictures in, and I
Mm.
would like to get like some other types of illustrations in there, and I put pictures of myself. The reason why I've done that is because I don't want to make it wrong for a man to have a fantasy. I'm not saying that I could be the fantasy if they want me to be the fantasy. But there's an element of, there's nothing wrong with having a fantasy and a vision, and also being in the present moment. Like, in different times of my life, I've needed a bit of both.
Mm.
And the whole message of my book, Love the Fuck Out of Everything, is until you love it, until you accept where you are and even give yourself space to understand that,
Yeah.
it persists. So anything you make wrong, bad, that's where you get the projection when someone looks at someone else and goes, oh, look at them over there. That's probably something you can't be with, right?
Mm.
So until we love all these parts of self, then we can move forwards. And that's the whole point. Like, love it all. Like, that's why I talk about my journey so honestly throughout the
Yeah.
book, because I'm not ashamed of it. It's made me who I am.
Okay. So when you say love the fuck out of everything, do you mean that in every single context, or is it just in love making and just in terms of relationships?
I mean, in every context. I've had
Okay.
people come to me that are anxious. And it was only
Mm,
until, sometimes I would get anxious when I'd go out and I wouldn't be able to cope with sometimes the attention. So I'd drink alcohol, right? And then
yeah.
I went into acting and we were doing Meisner. And instead of making our emotions wrong, we would actually let the emotion affect us. So somebody would say something not very kind and you would have to let it affect you. So then you'd have to be angry. And it was
Yeah.
such a cathartic experience because I wasn't repressing my emotions no longer. I was letting it
Mm,
affect me. And then I realized that it was me loving it, right? So, okay, so it's okay. I get anxious sometimes when I go out and I'm in a big group, and that's part of who I am. And I love that. And it's a gift
mm,
because it keeps me safe. And it was only until I started doing that, it started to go. And I've worked with others to do that because, again, it's all beautiful. Even sometimes I'd blush, I'd go red sometimes, and I would make that wrong. And then as soon as I was like, oh, that's really good. It's quite cute. And reframed it and made it good. It stopped happening as much. And so
mm,
I think any parts of us that we make wrong and we repress and we demonize
yeah.
continues. The shift is that simple. That perspective shift fucking changes it. Love the fuck
Mm,
out of it. When you love the fuck out of it and yourself, life changes.
yeah. Okay, so in terms of a context, so let's just say somebody's in a 9 to 5 job. They're really not happy and they just kind of stumble upon it and they just need it to pay their bills. What would your message be for someone like that who wants to come out of that but get into another path? How can they love the fuck out of everything in that situation?
So initially, you have to be grateful for where you're at. And
Mm,
if you're not grateful for where you're at and loving what you're doing, now you can always find something. So when I worked in a clothes shop, for example, like I loved helping the customers and interacting with the customers. So it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like that appreciation of even that you've got that job or you're getting up or you're interacting with somebody. And it's not even the job, right? What's the message behind the job? How are you leaving someone? What are you leaving someone with? Are you leaving them with a good feeling? Because even if you've done that, you're a huge success, right?
Mm,
So focus on that. Focus on what you can give whilst you're there because you're there for a reason. There's a purpose.
mm,
And look for a purpose beneath what you're doing. You're not defined on what you do. So look at the purpose and just look at the magic you can create every day. When you get into that magic you can create every day, your life's going to change. Whilst you're there, focus on your gifts and talents. What are your gifts and talents? When was the happiest day of your life? What was you doing? Start to reflect. Focus on your passions. Life is short for you not to be living your passion. And start doing it on the side. Start doing little things here and there. They all add
mm.
up, and then you'll be able to make that transition.
I like that. I like that. That was a good answer there. Okay, so what is the top 3 things you look for when it comes to relationships, Marina?
The top three. The top, if I was to have a relationship of any
And
like
you know what? Put them
business,
in order as well.
so we're talking business, romantic, both. I suppose it's the same.
No, no, romantic.
Romantic. Wow. Okay, let me not overthink this. I would.
No, don't overthink it. Just what were the first 3 things that come
First
to
thing
your
comes
mind?
into my mind is intelligence.
Are you sure that came to your mind first?
Yeah, because it's really important. Because if somebody
Yeah.
can't mentally stimulate me and they're not passionate about what they do, then I
Mm,
can't keep falling back in love with them.
okay.
So if we're looking at longevity here, and for me to have a relationship with someone, then I'm going to be like, what are they doing? What are they creating in the world? And are they passionate about it? Have they got some intelligence there? They've got some depth there. Okay, can they
Mm,
keep? So then I'd probably look for adventure. Are they adventurous? I want to give more because I like the idea of being creative with someone, being adventurous, and
so sex, basically, yeah?
sorry.
So sex is number 2, yeah?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily. I think the mental connection, number
Yeah.
one. Then, what I say is, no, I just,
Yeah, you said adventurous and be creative, so I would put that in that category.
yeah, I mean, I would say it's more like the mental, the second one, I would say, again, it's around how they react to things. I think it's more around, are they a secure person? I mean,
Mm.
are they, if I say I can't meet them, are they going to react and blow up? And like, life's too short, you don't want to be around dramatic people. So look, the sex can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
really fucking good, but if they're giving you drama, doesn't matter how good the sex is. So I mean, I'll be looking at it doesn't matter,
Mm.
is the element of, look, we've got things to create, we've got the world to serve, there's things going on. Are they kind of a secure person? Are
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
are they gonna cause me chaos or peace? So that's my number
Mm.
two, I'd say. Like, so can they mentally stimulate me, keep finding the passion? Are they kind of that kind of individual? I don't care what they do, as long as they fucking love it. If you don't love it, you're betraying yourself. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
with someone that betrays himself. If they betray
yeah. Mm.
themselves, they betray me. No, thank you. Been there, done that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So number two is like, okay, are they secure? Are they going to bring me peace or chaos? Do they know themselves? Are they going to react over silly things? And number three,
Mm.
yeah, it probably is that connection. Are they connected? I think if you've got the other things, it's around the passion. Then, if they're passionate in other areas of their life, then and
Yeah, yeah,
you can talk to them and be open, then you're gonna have probably good sex.
yeah, 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 definitely. So, would you accept if somebody came into your life and they said that I want two women,
No,
or you wouldn't?
no,
Okay, why?
because there's an element of, I wouldn't think I'm enough, would I?
Mm.
If I'm enough, then surely I'm enough. If they're going to come to me and say, and I've had guys say to me, look,
Have you?
yeah, I have. I've had guys say, do you know what? I think you're really attractive, but I know that I can't say the word for it, and I think that's for a reason. But they're into having multiple partners. Would I be interested? I'm like, well, A, you haven't met me yet. B, your longest relationship is a year. C, it's not my bag. That's not for
Mm.
me.
Okay, fair enough. Can you really have sex with someone forever? Like that it's just something that I've always wanted to know. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because from my point of view, I'm just thinking surely at like some point it becomes more than that, right? And like it doesn't be as it's the same 10 years in or 5 years in.
It depends on how you view sex, right? So it's sacred energy exchange. So
Okay.
it's for me, it's sacred, right? So I'm exchanging my energy beautifully with someone. They're in my
Mm,
life, they're present, we're creating, we're giving each other power and, energy and presence. And it's about what we keep creating and putting into it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
of course, I was with my ex for 13 years. That was, I didn't, until the stage I got to, I was like, okay, maybe there's something, something's not fulfilling me. I want to go deeper. I couldn't go deeper
Mm,
there. So, okay, fine. I think sometimes you have a soul contract and it will end.
mm,
But I think if you think the fault, I'm going to be having sex with this person forever and only this person,
mm,
it creates fear. And I think all of them faults do. And I think that's why you have to be with someone that you can talk about these things. You can have freedom. For me, it's not freedom to sleep with other people, because I think having a deep connection with somebody, one person, and going deeper and, trying different things maybe with them is much more beautiful than, if you just meet someone, it takes a while to get to that stage of depth.
mm.
Maybe, maybe not. It depends, right? So that's my
Interesting.
preference is to go deeper and deeper and to share that personal intimate experience with one person, not multiple people, because it's an energy exchange. It's powerful.
Comes down to connection again, doesn't it?
It comes down to connection. So say, like, for example, like, I can't really stay with myself. I
Mm,
can't really deal with my anger, my emotions, my sadness. So there's going to get to a point where I'm with someone else, I'm going to go, oh, fight, flight, or freeze. I'm going to fly off. I'm going to be like, nah, I need something else. That would be about me. It wouldn't be about the other person.
Yeah.
That would be like an avoidant technique. That would be like a defense. As long as you know that and the other person knows that might come up and that you can talk openly about it, it's okay. It's only when we say, you can't. Why are you looking at her? What are you doing looking at her? Oh, why are you liking someone's picture on Instagram? Yeah. Like when you get into them types of relationships, it's just like based on fear. It's not based on love. It's like, if you don't pick me today, you don't pick me. And like, okay, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. I'm not going to punish you and I'm not going to think, okay, we'll figure out what to do next. Who knows? I've never been in that situation. Because I think I'm enough. So I probably attracted men that would have thought I was enough. And if not, it hasn't lasted for longer than a day or whatever. On to the next, It's fine. You learn, you live.
Talking about Instagram, you mentioned something there. Do you think is like liking girls, if you're in a relationship, if girls like guys' pictures and guys like girls' pictures, do you think it's a big deal or do you think it's not that deep?
I don't think that's that deep. I think if you're looking at that, you're a drama person and you're looking, if I look, I will find. If I'm going to sit there and look through someone's phone, I'm going to find something wrong. Look, it's okay to admire beauty. It's okay to find other people attractive. If you read Think and Grow Rich, in essence, it's a normal part of life. Like many successful men had beautiful women around them. They didn't sleep with the beautiful women. As I say in my book, they channeled their sexual energy into their work and became unstoppable. Your sexual energy is your power. So like, know what you're doing, know how you're using it. Don't give your power away to everyone. It's your superpower. And don't make any of it wrong, because if you I was in a relationship where I couldn't say someone was good looking. I couldn't, I felt bad. And then I shut off a part of myself, and I see it with men, like they're with their girlfriend and then they don't want to look at you as you walk down the street and you're like, I feel sorry for them. It's like you're in a prison. That's not how it should be. And what you repress goes the other way. So if you're going to do that to a guy, what do you expect if he does cheat? And that's really harsh. But you're creating a place where you can't have an open, honest dialogue. I mean, look, that's co-created.
Okay. So you wouldn't mind if you was with someone and even if the girl had bikini pictures on and he actually started liking them, and you wouldn't actually mind. You'll be thinking that's absolutely normal. Yeah?
I think that's normal. I probably think, oh, she looks good in the bikini too. Like, I'm not going to...
You'll go and like it as well.
Yeah, if it's a beautiful picture, I think that I'm very secure. So I like my appearance. And I'm not going to look at that as an insecurity thing. I think, I would think that probably the guy that I would be with would be very much like creating stuff in the world and, but if he wants to admire somebody that's beautiful and like a picture, then
it's cool.
That's okay.
It's not that
like,
deep,
it's part of life.
Okay, so in your book, you say, stop hating yourself and dismissing part of yourself. Learn to love yourself. Now, my question to you is, how would someone do that? And why do you think people hate themselves?
Well, the thing is, I think it depends on how you're brought up. So we're going back to upbringing. And our parents become a voice, right? So we have different voices in different parts of self. Mum, dad, between 0 and 7, you're looking at your subconscious mind being formed, right? So like 95% of your life is run on your subconscious mind. So then voices become part of you. Now things might happen and you're like, oh, I hate my mum, I hate my dad. I get it. I've been there. I didn't have an easy childhood. It's only until you understand and have empathy for them different parts and almost like own your shadow, own your darkness, own these different parts, like own the part of you that goes, no, I'm not taking that bullshit. Instead of just being like, oh, this is nice all the time. Like instead of when you integrate all these parts and own it and almost love it, it's when you heal, right? So there's different processes to do that. So you also have like an inner wisdom and an inner strength within you, and it's bringing that out and it's acknowledging that and it's bringing that out from within. You can do that through visualization. And then you
What do
connect
you mean
on the spot.
visualization? Like,
So like a
just
visualization where you meet that part of you, right? The part of
yeah,
you
yeah.
that's the inner wisdom. So you shut your eyes and you go through this
Subconscious work,
guided,
yeah.
sorry, my love,
Subconscious work, right?
subconscious work. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's visioning, hypnosis. Also, before you go to bed, when you wake up, your brain is in a theta state, so you can retrain your mind, right? This is why I say love it, all these parts, because that is what it's about. It's like owning it. It's owning all of who you are in this world and loving it. And then like going, okay, you know, like when you're consciously aware, you can focus on growing different parts, but you're not making the others wrong that make you human, because it makes you a person. And if you're going to be with someone that wants you just as one type of person, well, that's not real. And that's what people often do. They meet someone and go, who does this person want me to be? And then they play that character. And it's like, no. Know yourself, know who you are, integrate, know that you're going to have sad times, angry times, all these different times. That's being human. And if someone else can't be with you when you have them different emotions, then they're probably not your person.
Yeah.
Don't betray yourself.
Interesting. I like that. Okay. Why is connection so hard for people to establish these days, Marina? I mean, what is it that's distracting everyone?
I think it's that hustle, grind, chase mentality. You know, this illusion that we've got somewhere to go. I've had the 5-bedroom house, the Range Rover, the holidays in the Maldives. It's fucking bullshit. Like, yeah, look, it's not an either or life. What I'm telling you is enjoy the moment, enjoy the journey. Like, stop, breathe. Because when you die, if on your deathbed, no one's going to give a fucking shit about your holiday or what car you had or what house you got. They're going to care about how you've been with them. Have you spent time with them? Have you connected to them? We know what it's like when somebody dies. If we haven't spent no time and we haven't had no connection with them, we're not really going to have, it's not going to impact our lives as much as somebody that gave us 5 minutes with them every day.
Yeah.
It's only 5 minutes. So it's the element of, it's the society's, you know, that thing, looking for something outside of you. This is why I say, like, it's coming back to you, your soul, your purpose, what you're here to do, and realizing that it's only really going to matter who you've been, not what you've done. Have you been kind? Have you been loving? That's
I
all
guess
it's
live
going to
your life
matter.
more.
Have you been able to come back to that? Because look, we're human. Things are going to trigger us. We're going to have, you know, there's no person out there that doesn't have a sad day or an angry day. But can you go back to love? Can you go back to, you know, connection? Can you forgive yourself? Can you forgive someone else?
Yeah. I guess live your life more impact focused, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's your life. All I can do is share my experience and go, you know, I think that true fulfillment comes from being able to look at yourself in the mirror and being proud of what you see.
Yeah.
And having inner peace. That's success.
Okay. So, Marina, how do you make your money?
Hey YouTube, I'm really sorry to cut you off, but I have to share this with you. I want you to get to your next level, and I believe that personal development is the gateway to success. So what I've done is I've gone and created a 7-day free audio course. This is totally free. All you have to do is sign up, and from day 1 till day 7, every single day, you will receive a 2-minute audio from me, which will elevate your mindset and give you power in your business. Make sure you go and sign up and let me know how you find it.
How do I make my money?
Yeah.
Through coaching.
Yeah.
And acting. So I also act as well.
You're an actress, yeah?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
What, have you appeared on any of these big drama series, or
Not
where
yet.
did you get that from?
Not yet. I've got an audition tomorrow for like similar type Top Boy type thing where I'm playing a detective.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I always loved acting, and this is why I bring acting in my book and in my method as well.
All right.
Yeah. So acting for me, it has been very cathartic and I use acting when I coach individuals as well. So, you know, whether or not you want to do something different in your life, or you want to be more confident, or you want to know who you are more, it's all can be accomplished also from acting it out, right? Even with emotions, and, you know, that helps you connect more. And when I act, I don't act someone else. True, you know, this is that misconception. True acting is being truthful in the moment. I can't really play characters I wouldn't resonate with, or haven't seen something similar that's happened in my life. And I love the dark characters as well, because I think I've got a passion for bringing empathy for the darkness, because people only do dark things because they've got nowhere else to go, or there's no empathy or compassion for it. And when we understand that they also need love, or everyone needs love, it's the only way we can transform. It's like, I hate anything that divides. Men v women, narcissist v empath, all these different divides, I think, get people lost in drama, when it's like, okay, what can I control? Am I being loving? Am I being kind? Am I not being judgmental? Am I forgiving myself? Am I forgiving someone else? So it's so important to get back to love for everyone, and not into this mode of, oh, it's a red flag, oh, it's a green flag, and I listen to it and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be around these people, like this, the drama people.
Okay. So give us some basic, a few little tips on acting, just like simple ones.
Simple, what things on acting? I think with acting, it's about understanding like the character, and seeing what parts of, for me, I use parts of me that can connect with it, and then I put my life experience into it. So I don't look at, you know, what somebody else is doing. I give my own interpretation through looking at what's going on in the script and the words and the character, and then it's about what I create with somebody else. So, you know, again, it's not about me, it's about forgetting me, and then going with like my feeling, my intuition, my character, my experience, my life experience, and bringing all of that, and then going, oh, now this is the exciting bit, like I'm going to create something with the other actor, and I don't know what I'm going to create, and it's going to be beautiful because they're going to say a word a certain way, and then I'm going to react a certain way, and we're going to create this magic which cannot be created ever really again the same way, via us two energies coming together. A bit like when you make love, a bit like when you do this now, you know, very similar. So again, it's, I think when you lose the focus on you, an attachment from getting it right or fucking it up or not fucking it up, and you're just in flow, is when the magic happens in life.
Interesting. Okay. So are you looking to like go America or any, are you looking for like big acting roles as well, or are you not focused on that? Oh, you are?
100%. I love the idea of being in America. I was recently in LA. I love the US. I love the people. I love the energy. Loved LA. I definitely want to create a TV show on love and relationships in America. And if I got into a series, I'd absolutely love that too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll do really well.
Thank you so much. I love it. And when I was out there, like even when I was just the men out there are very educated on love and relationships. And very chivalrous, actually.
Okay.
So the American men had a different mindset to the English men.
What's the difference?
They were just very chivalrous, and they were educated. So they'd done their work. They knew about attachment theory. They knew about relationships. They were really interested in it. They wanted to grow, better themselves. So, I mean, out there, getting self-help is not frowned upon as much as it's more frowned upon here. I think we're catching up more. But there's more talks, there's more discussions, it's more open. Whereas I think here, for some reason, there's that element of, even if you talk about sex, like it's everything you do.
Yeah. It's a bit taboo, isn't it?
Well, it's taboo. And it's like, well, actually, it's not talking about it which creates oppression and confusion. Like I talk about porn in the book, and it's like, well, where do you learn if you can't read a book like mine, or you can't have open conversations with women as well? And there's lots of women that have been very toxic to men on things like size and shaming them and making them feel that they have to perform. So this is a society thing, which I just think needs to stop. As in, like, if somebody's in that mode where they're shaming somebody or they're coming out with things like that, it's because they haven't dropped into their heart. And when you, I just want all men to know that that's not about them, that, you know, it's about the other person being insecure, and it's about their issues and about they can't get into their heart. But don't take none of that on. Like, you're all good no matter what's happening. Like, your body's telling you stuff. If you know things are not happening for you in certain ways, again, it's your body keeping you safe. So it's like, again, don't make any of it wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so you've told me how you make your money. How do you invest your money then?
I'm not actually very good with investing, but I have had properties in the past. So I had properties, done them up, sold them. So it was very much in property. At the moment, I haven't been investing. The biggest investment I've made has been in myself.
That's really good, yeah.
And I think, do you know what? That's priceless. I've always picked investing in myself over and beyond anything else, because I think once you invest in yourself, once you found your passion and purpose, life doesn't become about investments. Yes, you could have, you know, and there's another illusion that financial security brings you success. Does it? Because I know many people that are very financially secure and they've made millions and they're very unhappy and they're very sad
Well, it
and
depends
they're
how you
very
define success,
disconnected.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it's not either or.
Mm.
But the biggest investment you'll ever make is within you. And never stop
No, I
doing
agree with
that.
that. That's good. Okay, so how important is health to you? And do you go gym regularly, every day or every other day, whenever?
The health is very important for me. I've always
Yeah.
gone to the gym since I was about 16.
Wow.
I don't think you need to go to the gym. I think you can work out at home.
Yeah.
Again, it's about figuring out what you need. So I like time by myself, but I also like time with others. So extrovert v ambivert, and the difference is an extrovert gets their energy from a group, an introvert gets some energy by themselves, and an ambivert gets their energy from both. Now, my personal belief is that if you're a balanced person, you would be in between, right? So again, air to caution, but I believe, this is one of my theories of anyone that over-identifies with either. So, you know, everything's about balance. So at times where I've not been connecting with as many people, I need the gym, right? At times when it's really busy, then I can work out maybe by myself at home. But I think it's your body speaks your mind as well. And it's about connecting to that and going, well, if you're in pain, if you've got an injury, stop and listen to it and feel into it and go, what's my body telling me? Like the legs might be about moving forward. Your heart, well, there's a lot's going on with your heart that's emotional, and if you're in pain within your heart. So often we think like health is going to the gym, eating, but it's also your mindset, what you're consuming, what you're watching, what your body's telling you, tuning in. Tune into your body. Don't beat yourself up because you think that's what you're meant to be doing, only for you to get ill because you're not actually listening to what your body needs. Maybe your body needs something different.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. The key is just move or do something, right? And fix your mindset, really. Yeah. Okay, so I've got two more questions for you, Marina. What is your two favorite books that you've read so far?
Conversations
If you
of
know,
God.
which ones?
Conversations of God.
Okay.
So I read that book when I was about 16.
Wow.
And Neil Donald Walsh is still my favourite author of all times. he
Mm.
sat there and he had a conversation with God, you know, he channeled him. So he was an alcoholic,
Mm.
changed his life, and 3 a.m, God starts speaking to him, and he literally has, it's a question and answer format. And again, it's where I've got my inspiration for my question and answer format for my book to help men on love and relationships,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what I love about it is you can just pick it up and open a random page and read it and go, oh, I needed that today, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think we need that more and more in today's society. But I love
Mm.
the take on it because he basically says it wasn't the way God intended it. And I think a lot of the
Mm.
images and messages that are put out there by religion are confusing. And
Mm.
there is, you know, like anything, right? There's a lot of control and restriction, and things get lost in translation. And I think it just clarifies so much for me, and always has
Mm.
done. I love his work.
Okay. What's the second book?
Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. So again, the same type of premise. Louise Hay is again a phenomenal person, and she started Hay House Publishing when she was 40.
Yeah.
She came from quite like an abusive background, and she went through a lot of trauma. But she again created this book where you have a physical illness, and she gives you the emotional reason for that physical illness with the
Mm.
affirmation you then say to reset that, right? So again, it's
Okay.
like another little Bible to have in the house. And it's just amazing because it just brings you into awareness of actually, oh, I've got this illness. It's a
Mm.
thought pattern. It's mental or something, and it's something, and it gives you, whether or not it's true or not, it gives you back the power, because
Mm.
you hold the power. If you believe somebody has the power outside of you, you are
Mm.
fucked. Take responsibility for whatever's going on, and this is a tool for that, because then you go, right, this is what it is. This is what the new programming I need. And you might
Yeah,
need a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit more work in between that. But for me, it's like another little Bible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice. I like it. Okay, so tell me what's next for you and any final messages that you want to put out there.
What's next for me? Well, the book will be published.
Yeah.
And I
And
will.
by the way, I just want to say before, like, I've read the book and it's a really, really good book. And I think everyone should just go and buy it because it will be helpful one way or another. So, and
What
it's
did you
Marina's
find
perspective.
helpful?
Loads of things. I think the number one that stands out for me is the connectivity. You know, like, don't rush anything. Like everything's about connection. Everything's about just exactly what we was talking about earlier on. Like, in my mind, it's always been like rush, rush, rush. And I feel like when it comes to connecting with someone, you need to give that long. You have to look at it in a long term thing, and like don't put no time on it. Just spend that time with your other half and just give them however long it takes. It takes.
I love that, because as you're saying it, right, I was in
Yeah,
sales
yeah,
and I was top salesperson, and you name it, I've sold it. Technology, insurance, law, to all the creative
yeah.
agencies. It it wasn't on sales. I just
Yeah.
connected with people. I gave them my time. I sat there.
Mm,
We talked about everything. Like I connected. Like if you take this into every area of your life, you are going to be such a success.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
people worry about sales. It's not about the sales. It's like connect to the human being. Like find out what's going on in their life. Just connect genuinely from a heart-centered
Yeah.
place.
Okay. Any final messages you want to put out there?
Final messages I want to put out there. I think I've talked a lot, haven't I? I mean, but just be yourself, right? Find out
Yeah,
who you are, step into that, be yourself. Some people will love you, some people will hate you. It's got nothing to do with you. Keep focused, concentrate on the people that love you, spend
yeah,
time with them, connect with them, love the fuck out of it, love the fuck out of yourself, and just enjoy it. No one's
mm,
perfect, but also it's all perfect, right?
yeah. Perfect. I think that's a good way to end this show. Thank you so much, Marina, for joining me. I appreciate that, and
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.